In today's interview, we're talking to John Noble. John was made a life member in 1993. Welcome, John. Thanks for joining me.
Yep, pleasure.
Now, can you tell me, when did you first get involved with the club?
It would be about 45 years ago.
Okay. And how old were you then?
40, give or take a couple of years.
Yeah. So you joined the club as a masters athlete, shall we say?
Yeah, virtually. I originally joined as the Harriers.
Yeah.
At the Harrier side was what I
Yes.
originally joined at, and then we used to be at the cricket pavilion on the square, and then they kicked us out because they put the second story on.
Oh, yeah.
And so we went up to the kindergarten thing in Vogel Street,
Yes.
where we used to have a cup of tea and get changed afterwards.
Yeah.
And we were sitting outside there one day, when after we'd had a cup of tea, I looked across, I said, why the hell are we paying rent here when the athletic club is sitting over there empty during the winter time, which was never used during the winter time,
Yeah.
and we're the same thing, and we used to, most of us, well, not most of us, most of the Harrier seniors used to go on a Tuesday night and have an athletic meeting during the summer.
Ah, so we're talking about the athletic versus the Harrier side of things.
At that stage, we were two different
Yes.
sort of clubs.
Yeah.
And I said, to me, it just seems bloody silly.
How many people were running for the Harriers at that stage?
That'd be 30, I suppose.
Okay, so it's not the numbers that, say, the club has today.
No, not as many as it is just now.
Yeah.
It was about 30, I suppose it would be.
Yeah, and what about club runs?
Yeah, we used to have every Saturday. There was much the same as the Harrier does now.
Yes.
But it used to be a lot more away runs on the Sundays and things. Even during the Saturdays too, there'd be different running it with Hawks or Mad used to have a big day where all the clubs could go to. Hong used to have one. Frankton would have one.
Yeah, and how many people would be at those?
Oh, there could be 200 or more, quite a lot of them.
So almost fun run kind of numbers.
Well, yeah, but they were, a lot of them were actually competition, sort of inter-club or,
Right.
you know, they were not just an actual fun run, there'd be a race or something. All the different clubs that used getting the most into it. So some of them were relays, and Cambridge would have a team, and the other team would have a team. And
Actually, someone told me there used to be a Cambridge relay. Is that right?
Yeah. We used to go start by the clock.
Yeah.
And end up going down by the old gasworks and round up Vogel Street, and
Yes.
there used to be one round there at one stage.
Right.
We had one. I mean, I've missed the last 2 or 3 years at the Harriers much when was Noel was cooking that, and there doesn't seem there's not the ones travelling to different
Yes.
things like that we used to be. Well,
Yeah, and as you were telling me off air, you know, traffic management plays a big part in what you're able to host these days and how regularly you're able to host
if you do, it just costs you that much money.
Yes.
The entry fee's got to be 20 or 30 bucks or something to
cover it.
To cover it.
Yeah, that's right. Now tell me about mowing the Vogel Street athletics track.
Yeah, well, I did that I took over after Bernie Pentelow. He did it for years.
Yes.
And it was during the summertime, it was once a week.
Yeah.
You would do the whole thing.
Yeah.
To get it ready for the thing. It was just about a full day's job. And the old mowers that we had.
Yeah.
The little old Fergie tractor and round and spraying the edges and tidying up, and I'd spend, a couple of days or just about at night time or something doing that.
Yeah. And how did you end up getting out of that job?
I think we got onto the council, but we used to go on a Tuesday night, or
Yes.
in the summer season, we'd have athletics on the Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And then the Harriers, most used to get on a Tuesday night, we'd go for a run together, all going to be 5 or 10k or something.
What was the difference or the numbers between those that were doing the Harriers side and those that were doing the athletics side?
Oh, it was just about the same.
Okay.
There was one or two didn't do it, but we were all, just about all of us did the athletic side of it.
Yeah, okay.
And just sort of carried on and
Yeah.
on the Tuesday
And
night.
is that how the two sides of the club really ended up merging because it just made sense to do so?
Well, yeah, it's just, I said it was just, seemed silly being them on one, it's the fence between us and they could,
Yeah.
just, and we're doing it.
I'm amazed it didn't really happen sooner.
Well, I mean, we're all athletic and doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And some of the kids from the athletic the older ones would run in the Harriers
Yes.
too, which,
I guess, and the same thing would happen today.
yeah, it happened today. There's
Yeah.
quite a lot of them, they come along, and we had some in the Harriers, little wee fellas too.
And some of them are still there today, I dare say, like the John Charltons of this world.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because, I mean, you see, John was only a teenager when I started.
Yeah. Were there any names that you used to run against, you know, when you used to go to these meetings in Te Kuiti or Otorahanga or in Hamilton?
Oh, yeah, there was top
Yeah.
Waikato and New Zealand.
Yes.
Running it all round in the,
Yeah.
because I mean, see, a lot of it was on handicap.
Yes.
We used to, a lot of, I mean, this I've got 2 or 3 Waikato things from different runs, but they're all veteran runs or
Yeah.
handicap ones and things like that. But
Yeah. And those traditions continue, don't they? And I think that
Yeah.
really enables a lot of people, and people might not realise this, enables a lot of people to be part of the sport and gives everybody a chance.
It was. I mean, we had some quite good runners over the time.
Yeah. Yeah. So John was just mentioning Camille Buscombe, who also took on a leadership role in running the athletics side of things.
Her father was, he was quite up in the kids' side of the.
Right. Well, Craig Mead, of course, he went across to Australia.
Craig, he was a junior when I was.
Yeah.
Still, he was a good.
Yeah, and he was, I believe, talking to Thelma, very good at steeplechase.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Yeah.
But he liked the Harrier side too.
Now, steeplechase would have been quite interesting at the Vogel Street track.
Yeah. We had the water jumps filled in now, isn't it? Yeah.
It is. It's filled in with sand.
Yeah. Because we had the water jump and it was all there at one stage.
Yeah.
When we had athletics on the anniversary weekend. It was quite a big meeting.
Yeah.
We had to go and have the old host going for the night before to fill up the water.
Well, I was going to say, it must have taken a while.
Yeah, that was it. It was all there.
Yeah. So those must have been the days. I mean, we don't have senior athletics there anymore, which is a shame. But
yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, we used to, the senior athletics would have a sprint race.
Yes.
And then we'd have a field event, one of the jumping events.
Yeah.
And then we'd have a middle distance. And then we'd have might be a throwing event.
And is this where everyone did everything?
Everybody did everything.
Yeah.
Yes, but there was one or two might never go at the sprint and might never go at the long jump.
Yes.
But everybody had a go at everything. Then in the finish, we'd have a 1500 or a 2000 or something. I mean, everybody did just about the whole.
Yeah.
Running your marathon, anything anyway. But everybody had to go at the whole thing. I mean, I did the starting for the senior ones.
Yes.
And my turn, somebody else would go, on your marks, go.
Oh,
and then I'd start all the rest of the ones. and somebody has to be sitting there judging, and next minute you want to run, so you don't come down and have their run.
Yeah.
And it was a sort of family, well, not a family thing, but
So it sounds like everyone had to pitch in
yeah, everybody sort of did.
to make sure that the
yeah,
evening ran. Yeah.
I mean, even the kids' ones was like that pretty well for, well, I think it still is. Well, you got a few pitch in, but I used to start the kids' ones.
Yes.
And so that got a bit technical.
Yeah.
I had a couple of run-ins with it.
And tell me about some of the families that you've, been with at the club. You mentioned the Pentelows.
Yeah, because she was a good runner, Faye Pentelo.
Yeah.
She was a real good sprinter.
Oh, okay.
She, in Waikato, I think she got some New Zealand things. The Pentelows used to be the Sextons.
Yeah, and obviously we've mentioned the Mead
Meads,
family as well.
Mead family, yeah, Crane.
Yeah. You mentioned that Don Willoughby was at the club as well. He was distance runner.
President of the Harriers for a while.
Yes. And tell me about, you said you were writing for the paper at one stage.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
It used to be the Cambridge Independent.
Yes.
And they used to get, the half the Independent would be sports results and sports things for the weekend.
Yeah.
He was crazy on sport.
Yes.
And the football write-ups and the cricket. And I'd do the results for the Harriers, a bit of a write-up, and do that. As long as I had it there on Monday morning, it was in the paper on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's the good old days, isn't it, when the local sports results just dominate the paper.
Yeah, and what's coming up next week, it'd be a piece of... Yeah. Then Don Willoughby sort of took over. There was another job to do after Saturday night's Saturday's race, do a write-up for the paper.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that afternoon tea was a key feature of any Harriers.
Yeah, like it still is, yeah.
Like it still is today.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Yeah.
Used to love Margaret Fisher's
egg sandwiches, which he still makes today, of course. Yeah. And tell me about the administrators of the club at the time. Were they runners, or were they family of people who were running?
Mostly runners, or just family of.
Yeah. I mean, I guess a lot like it is today. And tell me about, and the runs might still be the same today. The Harrier runs that were done around the district. Still like Norwegian Road.
We were lucky. Quite a few. Well, you see, originally, in the Harriers, it was the Thompsons.
Yes.
They were, and the Keeleys. They were the original sort of members of the Harrier clubs that come in, and they had the farms.
Yes.
And you can run on the farm.
And they had the courses.
They had the courses, and they looked after them and set them up. But now, well, you got to go 10, 15k before you find it. A farm just about now that's not a farm sort of style. Yeah.
I mean, we were probably lucky that we were still able to use the Keeleys property, and the race still carries that name, and of course there's a Tomset Cups still.
All those. We do Gascoignes. We used to do Griggs's farm at Kairangi. Used to be the Kairangi Road up there.
Yeah.
Right across the top of the Kairangi Hills.
Yeah. Certainly the Gascoigne farm one is one of the tougher ones.
One was he used to run with. He doesn't run now. As Shorty Taylor up the top of Sanatorium Hill.
Yeah.
Used to run up there and across his farm.
Was that any different from the King of the Mountain, or was that something different?
The King of the Mountain's changed. The King of the Mountain originally, the first time I did it, was we just out Kirrapura, just about opposite where you go at the main road, up behind the old quarry. Yeah, and then we went up to the top of the same hill, but we went in from Whitehall, just by the Whitehall quarries.
Mm-hmm.
We had a Whitehall quarry. we went into it up there.
Yeah.
When one had the farm then, he let us go up there, and then the farm changed again. And then we went Lincoln Carver, I think it was.
Yeah. Any other special memories?
Oh no, just some of the ones when I've finished one of the marathons, and I've done 12 marathons.
Right.
And nowadays, I mean, we used to think when you did a marathon you were superhuman sort of style, and nowadays they do swim a 4 or 5k, run bike over an 80k, and then do a marathon afterwards. It's
Yeah.
you bugger all.
Yeah, and nowadays there's people doing ultra marathons,
all those
60k,
sort of thing.
80k, 100k.
Yeah, used to think you were doing well when you did a marathon or something like that.
Well, thank you for your time today, John, and good luck for the rest of your running.
Hope to be back again next year, or this year, just about this year.
Yeah, traffic lights permitting.
Yeah, it's walking mostly now.
Walking. Thanks for your time, John.
Good as gold.
Ka kite.